The Economic Sectors by Valeria Roncancio, Valeria Arellano, Marina Lopez, and Sofia Casuso. Hello, my name is Isabel, and today I am going to be explaining the three economic sectors. The three-sector model in economics divides economies into three sectors of activity: extraction of raw materials, primary, manufacturing, secondary, and service industries, which exist to facilitate the transport, distribution, and sale of goods produced in the secondary sector, tertiary. Primary sector. The concept of the primary sector, also known as the agricultural sector, is the economic sector whose set of economic activities are intended to transform natural resources to give rise to raw materials that are subsequently consumed by people with prior manipulation or not. Characteristics. One of the main characteristics of the primary sector is that its activity is always based on the exploitation of natural resources, whether from the subsoil or from the sea. The products resulting from primary activities are subsequently used by other sectors such as secondary, through industries. This is, for example, the case of processed food. Some examples of the activities in the primary sector are agriculture, livestock, mining, fishing, and hunting. Contribution. Primary sector provides the base for other sectors of the economy. Primary sector fulfills the demand of raw materials needed by secondary sector for their operations. Primary sector is responsible for the maintenance of good food supply in the economy. Also, in our country, primary sector is providing employment to large number of labor force, major source of livelihood in our rural areas where labor force is largely unskilled, significant contributor in the GDP, nearly 20%. Secondary sector. The secondary sector is in charge of transforming raw materials from the primary sector into elaborated products. Industry. The main activities which composes this sector are factories and industries, construction, automobile production, metalworking and smelting, textile production, and breweries and bottlers. Construction. The development of the secondary sector can be attributed for the demand for more goods and food, which leads to industrialization. It is in charge of creating mass consumers products. They can be classified into base, usage, and equipment industries. It needs human talent to function, especially for developing more complex activities despite having the machinery. Importance. It forms a substantial part of the GDP because it is the engine of economic growth and crucial for all developed economies. When the economy moves into the secondary sector, new farm techniques are used and industrialization becomes dominant as the goods are transformed into articles. The secondary sector is the one in charge of supporting both the primary and tertiary sectors. That is why it is an important source of job opportunity for engineers. Tertiary sector. The service sector or tertiary sector is now the largest sector of the global economy in terms of value added, and it is especially important in more advanced economies. Industry provides services to consumers and other industrial sectors. Services are activities that people or companies do for consumers. Examples: banks, cinemas, supermarkets, and hairdressers. Categories. 1. Made-up companies in the business of making money, such as those in the financial industry. 2. Comprises the non-profit segment, which includes services such as state education. Organizations. Tertiary organizations. Shipping and transportation, personal services, traditional hospitality industries, services to animals, hospital clinics, veterinarians, and other medical services. Importance. It is important because there's better technology and improved labor productivity which have enabled a higher output of manufactured goods and agriculture with less labor. Also, it increases productivity like incomes of workers to spend on services, spare labor to be able to work in more labor-intensive tertiary sector. And that's all for today. Thank you for listening. I hope you have learned a lot about the three production sectors.